Today is January 29th. It's the 29th day of the year, and this is the On This Day podcast. According to CNN, Time, and the American Spectator, Oprah Winfrey is the most powerful and influential woman in the world, worth approximately $4 billion. But on this day in 1954, Oprah is born into poverty to an unwed teenage mother in Mississippi. Oprah Winfrey, born to Vernita Lee, spends the first 6 years of her life living in rural poverty with her grandmother Hattie Mae after her mother travels up north. The poverty is such that Hattie Mae resorts to using potato sacks as dresses for young Oprah. Hattie Mae teaches her 3-year-old granddaughter to read, and she takes her to church where Oprah is nicknamed the Preacher for her ability to recite Bible verses. When she is 6, Oprah reunites with her mother up north in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But stability is not in her future, and Oprah is sent back down south to live with her biological father, Vernon Winfrey, in Nashville, Tennessee. She will bounce between the south and the north from parent to parent for the next several years. From the ages of 9 to 13, Oprah is molested by her cousin, uncle, and a family friend. She runs away from home at 13, becomes pregnant at the age of 14, and gives birth to a premature son who dies shortly after. She will never have any other children. Oprah comments later in life that she has chosen not to be a mother since she herself had not been mothered well. High school begins in Milwaukee but ends in Nashville after her mother sends her back to live with her father for good. Vernon Winfrey is strict, but he encourages his daughter. He makes her education a priority, and Oprah excels in her studies, becoming an honors student. She's also voted most popular girl. After joining the speech team at East Nashville High School, Oprah places second in the country for dramatic interpretation. She also wins an oratory contest, securing a full scholarship to Tennessee State University, where she'll go on to study communications. At the age of 16, Oprah leaves her job at the local grocery store when she lands a part-time gig reading the news at WVOL radio station. She works at the station up through her sophomore year in college. After college, Oprah relocates to Baltimore, where she spends the next 7 years working in broadcast television. In 1983, she relocates to Chicago to host WLS-TV's low-rated half-hour morning talk show, AM Chicago. Oprah's first show airs at the very beginning of 1984. Within months, the show moves from last place in the ratings to first, overtaking Phil Donahue's self-titled talk show, which is the first national talk show to include audience participation. When Oprah is approached about the syndication of her talk show, she's unsure what to do. She discusses it with her friend, movie critic Roger Ebert. Oprah's syndication options are with ABC or King World. Ebert has his own syndicated show, and he does some basic math and predicts that her show could generate 40 times as much revenue as his, if she goes with King World. So that's what Oprah decides to do. The AM Chicago show is expanded from 30 minutes to a full hour and renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show. It airs nationally for the first time in September of 1986. And in syndication, Oprah brings in double the national audience as Phil Donahue, displacing his show as the #1 daytime show in America. The Oprah Winfrey Show will be a launch pad from which Oprah will jettison herself into other media outlets such as film, publishing, radio, and online content. Oprah becomes known as the Queen of all media. Grandmother Hattie Mae would not have been surprised at all by this meteoric rise. After all, she watched her granddaughter Oprah Winfrey, born on this day in 1954, interview her corncob doll and the crows that sat on the fence on the family's property when she was a youngster. Oprah credits Hattie Mae with encouraging her to speak in public and giving her a, quote, positive sense of myself. There are 336 days left in the year. On This Day is produced by me, Dave Schultz. Thank you very much for listening. Today's episode written by Elizabeth Schultz. If you're just joining us, be sure to check us out on Twitter at OnThisDayPod. Again, that's at OnThisDayPod, or Facebook /OnThisDayPodcast. Links to those and all the podcatchers where you can listen to the show, and links to other stuff at OnThisDayPodcast.com. If you want to share the show with your friends, you can go ahead and send them that link, OnThisDayPodcast.com, or the Twitter or the Facebook, or just tell them to Google On This Day Podcast. That works too. Catch you on the flip side.